Here's a provocative thought. Can political engagement become a form of addiction? Now think about it. The dopamine hits from likes on politically charged social media posts, the adrenaline rush from heated debates, the compulsive need to check news updates. These behaviors mirror patterns observed in addictive personalities. Some psychologists argue that for certain individuals, political activism becomes an all-consuming pursuit. It's detrimental to their personal lives and even their mental health. Do you think politics can be like an addiction? Let me know in the comments below. If we haven't met before, I'm Dr. Richard Nongard, and today I'm talking about political stress and even the biology of politics. Imagine this, it's election night. The votes are being counted. The news anchors are dissecting every piece of information. Social media is ablaze with opinions, and you can feel your heart pounding in your chest. Sound familiar? Now let's rewind a little bit. Why does something like an election, an event that's supposed to represent the pinnacle of democracy, cause so much stress, anxiety, and even physical symptoms in so many people? Well, let's look at the brain for a moment. When we experience political stress, our brain's amygdala, that's the part of the brain responsible for processing emotions. It goes into overdrive. This triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol, and it sets off a chain reaction that affects both our minds and our bodies. It happens when we go to social media expecting memes and cat pictures and instead see our friends holding the wrong political position. It happens when we show up at our family and friends' houses, which are adorned with political decorations, and when we came just to catch up in a heartfelt way, they immediately turn the discussion to politics and indignancy in the other side's idiocy. Research actually showed that after the 2016 election, many college students experienced distress so intense that it mirrored the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. And it didn't stop there. From 2017 to 2020, chronic stress plagued younger politically active individuals. We're not talking just about one side or the other or a passing sense of unease here. The problem is real, measurable psychological distress. But the important impact of political stress doesn't stop with our emotions. It seeps into our behavior, our health, and even our relationships. Did you know that during politically charged periods, there's a significant uptick in healthcare-related visits for stress-related conditions? People are quite literally getting sick from politics. Political stress, it's been linked to increased healthcare costs, driven by the need to treat election-related illnesses. It's not just a mental health issue, it's a public health issue. And then there are relationships. How many of you have experienced tension with family or friends over political disagreements? According to research, elections can strain personal relationships to the breaking point. It can lead to decreased relationship quality and even deactivated kinship ties. It's heartbreaking. Imagine avoiding family gatherings or cutting them short because of the political climate. Close elections can make things seem even worse, turning what should be moments of connection into sources of deep division. And let's not forget our emotional well-being. Political seasons are notorious for disrupting sleep, inducing anxiety, and even leading to depression, especially among those who feel politically marginalized. But here's something interesting. The impact elections have on our health and emotions often depends on how we perceive them. If we believe that an election will drastically change our lives, this perception alone can heighten our stress and anxiety. It's the classic case of mind over matter, only in this case, the mind is amplifying the matter. Unfortunately, demagoguery casts issues into opposing camps, where a mutually agreed middle is impossible to find. A lack of critical thinking or chronic repetitive messages can literally hypnotize people into believing that a third way can't be found. Speaking of hypnosis, did you know that self-hypnosis and mindfulness practice can help you become more connected and less rigid in important areas of your life, like politics? Now, here's where it gets controversial. Some argue that political stress is a necessary evil, that the discomfort it brings pushes us to act, to fight for our beliefs. But there's a fine line between stress that motivates and stress that paralyzes. When political stress crosses the line from constructive to destructive, it can do so in tragic ways. So what can we do to navigate the political landscape without losing our minds or breaking relationships? Number one on my list, limit your media consumption. The 24-hour news cycle is designed to sell ads, not tell the truth. Set specific times to catch up on the news rather than letting it consume your entire day. Realize the difference between real news reporting and paid partisan shilling. If you're watching only one network, you're squarely in the middle of an echo chamber that's not based on reason or even facts. Another tool is to engage in physical activity. It's a powerful way to relieve stress. Exercise reduces stress hormones and it clears your mind. I'd encourage you, if you find yourself the victim of political stress, to download the Pedometer app on your cell phone and get 10,000 steps a day. It'll make you a better person. And also stay connected to others. It's important to set boundaries to agree to disagree, or even to agree not to talk about politics or religion or any issue that's creating a wedge between you and your people. Political seasons are more than just events. They're deeply personal experiences that affect our brains, our bodies, our relationships. And the stress that it produces is real. We understand the science behind political stress and adopt healthy coping strategies. We can navigate these with hope and resistance. It's true that the 24-hour news cycle is not just informing us, but actively contributing to our political stress. Studies have shown that constant exposure to political news, especially when framed dramatically, heightens our responses. The media, in its quest for ratings and engagement to sell ads, portrays even minor issues as high-stakes battlegrounds. It leaves viewers in a perpetual state of anxiety. News media is accountable for the psychological toll that they are taking on people. But again, the onus on us, the consumer, to curate our media diets more responsibly. Democracy thrives on engagement and our ability to care for other people, to be connected to the communities where we live, and to make decisions that are based on not only our own independent needs, but the needs of our country and even the world as a whole. My hope is that in this video you've benefited from some of the ideas that I've shared with you about political stress. If you've enjoyed this video, like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel as I give you the psychological perspective on current life events.